What's up guys, Travis back at it with another video, and on this project I just want to show you guys a few things that we noticed when it came to damages on this old deck and potentially how these things could have been avoided. So let's get down and deep into it with you guys here. Just from looking at this deck and walking around it, it does look like it does need some work, but we're about to tear it apart and see exactly what we're dealing with here. Now, just by taking a look at this beam, what's really concerning to me is the fact that the 2x4s are notched into this, and it really does seem like this is a load-bearing beam holding up the roof on top of this deck here, which can be a little bit concerning. This is our first problem. So, pause. When tearing apart the top layer of the decking, we thought we were going to be met with framing that was damaged, but clearly not. We are met here with another mess. This is another layer of decking that was supposed to be ripped up when the other top layer of decking was installed, but clearly it wasn't. So you see these lines here all the way down. That's dirt, dust, grime, pet hair, things that couldn't have escaped through the cracks if it was done correctly. Now that we've cut a hole in this decking here and we can take a look underneath, another thing that concerns me here is the 2x4 strapped to another 2x4 that is made into a 4x4 in the middle of this deck. Now, usually you would have some deck supports throughout the deck in order to support and hold the weight, but this is a 5x10 deck. I don't have a clue why this is here, but I guess we're about to find out soon. Now, after tearing up that other piece of plywood holding up the deck board, we found another layer here, and I can guarantee you by looking at this was probably done between the 50s and 70s, which means the frame here hasn't been touched in a very long time, and it's been neglected way longer than it should have been. Now, one of the biggest concerns I have when the framing of a deck isn't touched for 10, 20, 30 years is any sort of water sources where water is supposed to be draining out away from the deck. If that wasn't done right, then the decking framing is going to have a lot of damage when you start tearing it apart, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing in this scenario. Upon first look at this piece here, it does look like it's secured relatively correctly and could last a very long time, but after shaking a little bit, all my faith was lost. And last but certainly not least, when you look at this 4x4, this is not supposed to be notched out. This is supposed to be on a solid foundation, not on half of the framing. And this is supposed to go straight from the porch ceiling all the way down to concrete, which isn't the case, and that also really worries me. Why hasn't this porch fallen down at this point?